Welcome to another interview. And as always, I am very happy to be here with another pro athlete. Today, I have the pleasure of being with a league champion who has worn the national team shirt, represented us internationally, played for Spain,
Mm.
and she currently is Pachuca's brand new signing. Please welcome Annia Mejía. Annia, so good to have you here. How are you today?
I'm doing good, and thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Good. A little recap on Annia's career: former California Golden Bear during her college years. Also, at that time, she was part of the U20 national team and eventually the senior team. Then flew all the way to Spain, where she signed for Albacete, loaned to Sporting de Gijón, and finally in 2019, right after Liga MX Femenil opened its doors to Mexican-American players, she signed for Rayadas Monterrey, and well, the rest is kind of history. But we'll get there later. And first of all, Annia, I want to start asking you, how did you get into soccer? When did you discover your love for the sport?
So it started when I was 4 years old. My father got me and my brothers into it. So I think I just like fell in love with it. Like I would run nonstop, and so like what, I'm gonna take it to soccer. So ever since then, it hasn't stopped.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, and Anna, you were born in California. Yeah, we know there's a lot of Mexican American talents out there. And while most of
Yes.
them, like you, chose to represent our country, there are several others that didn't make that same decision. And in your case,
Mhm.
particularly, we know that you could also have chosen the USA and Honduras too. So what ultimately
Mhm.
made you decide to represent Mexico?
So since I would say since I was 12 years old, I was playing with US, and like it was a good process for me, and like I enjoyed it a lot. But I had an opportunity to go play with the U20s, the Mexican national team. So like, what, I'm gonna try it out, and I did, and I really like fell in love with the culture. I fell in love with like the coaches, like the players. I think, and it helped me connect with my roots of like my Mexican side, and I think that's what was really important to me. And I wanted to like, I just wanted to be a part of the process of Mexico to be like a better team that competes worldwide. So that's what made my decisions to go with Mexico.
That's nice. That's nice. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, you began playing forward. So I want to ask you
Oh
about
yeah.
this position change because I find it funny because I noticed this particular position switch seems to be very common in women's soccer. Like, and
Oh
now
yeah.
I'm curious, how did this happen in your case?
So when I was in club, I would always play forward and middle, and in California they do ODP. I'm not sure if you heard of that. It's like a process for like the national team, the regional team, and that specific game that the ODP watched me, they wanted me to mark like a very hard forward. Like so, my coach was like, "Anya, you know what? Today, like you're just gonna go back in defense and like mark the forward." And that specific game, there was like a U.S. national team coach scout, and then that's where I got picked up as a defender. So that's how it started.
All right, that's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of different. Like here, we don't have so much scouting like the USA. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
difficult process, and that's amazing. No,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and well, it's very interesting also when we get to the point where your pro career started, and unlike most
Mm-hmm.
of the girls in the United States, you directly head to a bigger challenge, Spain,
Oh
Albacete.
yeah.
But for whatever reasons, you don't get the opportunity of making your debut there. You go
Mm-hmm.
on loan to Sporting Gijón, and that's where you end up making your pro debut. I moved to
Mm-hmm.
Europe, a whole different country, different type of soccer,
Yes.
away from family, away from friends. How was that all for you? I mean, how were those years in Spain?
Um, I would say with Albacete, it was like it was amazing, honestly. Like even though I didn't get to debut there, like I just took in everything as like the culture, the players, like this, like those soccer overall in Spain is amazing. And I decided to go to Gijón just to like see if I can get some playing time because I know for me it's important to get minutes on the field. So that's why I made the jump to Gijón. But overall, like I love Spain, and like if there's an opportunity for me to go back, I would love to go back, because
Hey,
it's
that's
a beautiful
amazing.
country, and it's like, yeah, exactly. Like the soccer world over there is amazing. So I learned a lot, and it was overall amazing experience.
And also the fact how much grown we had in Spain. I mean, the league is amazing. The clubs are doing a lot
Yes.
of work too, and the level is
Yes.
quite interesting right there. And I
Yes.
also would like to see another move in Europe. It's amazing.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and speaking about the national team, we know it started in 2015 with the U20 CONCACAF Championship. which ended up with Mexico getting the World Cup ticket. And although we fell against the USA in that quarterfinal, I remember that game.
Yeah.
I remember you guys being very solid overall. You could
Yeah.
see the USA felt they were out of the tournament for like, what, 80 minutes? It
Yeah,
was a
honestly.
it was a very talented team with so many players being
Yes.
top notch in attack, like Maria, Jackie, Kiana.
Mhm.
How were those
Mhm.
weeks at New Guinea? How was for you to start to live a World Cup?
Oh, it was amazing. Honestly, like it was always been a dream of mine since I was little. So that was like a accomplished dream for me. So that's what I thought was like amazing. And like you said, like I was surrounded by like a really top-notch players, and like going through that process with them was like super amazing. And then like the fact that we got to the World Cup and get to experience it together, it was like a family, you know, and it was awesome. That's all I can say. It was an unbelievable experience.
And it's funny how most of this U20 team ended up being here in La Liga MX Femenil, some at some point, some the latter, but in the end, you all get to play together again. I mean, we have seen most of this squad. I mean, Roberto Medina once also directed this team, and well, directed Tigres too. I mean, it's amazing to see how much room the Liga MX Femenil has opened up for the new players, for the players who started before even the league, and it's quite a challenge. And now, talking about Liga MX Femenil, your arrival at Monterrey in 2019. I mean, you hear in the news all the way from Spain that our league is finally allowing dual citizenship players to play here. What were your thoughts? I mean, was playing in Mexico your first choice? Any other teams beside Rayadas contacted you? I mean, how this all happened?
Well, it was actually Rebecca that messaged me, the Rebecca Bernal, and yeah, it was like, so I was just like, you know what, okay, like I didn't know like they were open, so I was like, you know, I might as well just take it. So I talked to Rayadas and Tigres, so it was just between them two, and it was, I don't know, it was a really hard decision back then, but because like Roberto Medina was there, and like I really respect and adore Roberto Medina because as a coach, you know, and as a human being, and but I decided to do Rayadas because I wanted a challenge, and I feel like maybe I can like help that team or like in some way, you know. And so that's why I decided to go to Rayadas, and it was awesome.
It was quite a blast actually, but I gotta say, it's when you think about it, it's unbelievable. Like you could have ended up in Tigres at some point, and the whole story would have changed completely because you go to Rayadas and you make history with Rayadas. I mean, those finals against Tigres Femenil. I really want to hear from you. How did you live those two games? I mean, specifically the first leg at Universitario. I mean, to this day, we still talk about how important that goal and that clearance were for the title. You came to a team that, like you said, you wanted a challenge because precisely Rayadas had a record of losing the final twice against its rival at home, but you helped them change that and live the team's first ever trophy in your first ever tournament here. How did you live all of this?
I would say like I saw like the hunger the team had, and like it was just easy to like how do you say it, like flow into that with them, you know. So I would say it was just like every game was like put your head down and work, and honestly I would just like let things flow like for the good things, and that was insane for me. Those two finals were insane, but like honestly I think like if it wasn't for my teammates like working so hard and like me like working very hard, like I think that's what drove us to get that championship, because like the work rate was amazing, honestly, from the team.
Absolutely. And well, and the next final you get to play with Rayadas. You don't get to win the title, but you also score. You score again at a crucial time again, and you become quite popular between the Rayadas fan supporters, and because you kind of turn into that woman of the goals in the finals, and that's quite amazing. Like Annia's always there to score when we need her, and you became quite a popular for that in Rayadas. What would you think about that?
Honestly, I thought it was amazing because like it was not even the fans like believed in me that I was scoring in the final. Like all my teammates would be like, "You're gonna score, like you're gonna score," like right before the game, like, Annia, you're gonna score. And I was like, okay, like, let's do it. All right then. And I end up scoring, which is amazing. And like it gives me that hunger and like that motivation to like go, like, for example, like the last minute, like it gave me like, you know what, like one of my teammates was like, Annia, go. And I was like, you know what, you're right, I'm gonna go. And then like I go up and then score in the last minute or last couple of seconds, which was like insane.
Absolutely. Your inner forward came out actually.
Oh
That's
yeah.
amazing. I mean, people tend to forget you were a forward, so
Yeah.
that's quite a point on your favor.
Yeah,
And
that's
well,
true.
and I want to ask you, going back, do you then get out of Rayadas, you go to Xolos Femenil, you spend some time there. How was your time?
It was amazing. Honestly, the welcome was like really good. Like again, it was another challenge for me. I wanted to like make more minutes for myself, like develop myself as an overall soccer player and like in a different environment. And Cholos was a perfect like place for me to like develop, you know, and help the ones like around me, and like those help like the players around me help me as well. And like the staff, like Fabiola was an amazing coach to me, and like I thought that was really important. And overall, it was a great experience. I had a great time over there.
And closer to family too. I mean,
Yes.
that's quite a point. A lot of Mexican American players tend to go to Xolos Femenil because they're kind of closer
Yes.
to the family and it's easier for you. I mean, the support from the crowd it's also plays a big part in soccer. Am I right?
Yes. Yes, of course. And I would say like it was a help like, development as a soccer player and as a human being. So it was amazing.
Absolutely. And now you have a new challenge, Pachuca. What's next for you here at Pachuca after playing a couple seasons with Xolos Femenil? Now there's again this is a scenario where your team is a strong title contender. What can we expect from Tuzas this team?
Well, so this season, a lot of players, like new players came in, and I think we're in the process of like getting used to each other. And like, obviously like Cacho has to get used to us as well, and then figure out what formations we need to have and like what's the best for all of us as a team to come together. And I think that's where we're at. But I'm super proud to be here because I think we have like an amazing team. We have like really big name players that like compete every day. So it's like good competition every day. And I think as long as we push each other and find that flow within like with each other, we'll compete like with anyone, like on this league.
Absolutely. And Annia, I want to ask you also, you have played in 3 different countries in during your soccer career, USA, Spain, Mexico. What would you tell me the difference between those 3 countries? I mean, there are 3 different styles of soccer. What would you say the difference between Mexico, the USA, and Spain?
Well, in US, it was very like aggressive and like very like compete with like body and like physically run. And yeah, I would say with US is like more aggressive with like the physical and like the running. And in Spain, it was all like one touch, like quick, like tricks and all that stuff. And you have to think like very quick because everything is like one touch, which is really cool. And then in Mexico, I feel like it's more like tactical and like it's very like, I don't know how you describe it, like very soccer too. Like
Tiki-taka.
yeah, like tiki-taka, exactly. Like we depend more on each other like as a team, which is really cool. And like yeah, I think that's like the difference between, I don't know if you understood like the difference, like
yeah. And it's funny because I was talking to Monia Campo the other day. She also had the opportunity to play in Sky Blue for the NWSL.
Yes.
And I asked her the same question. I told her what could be the difference between Mexico and the USA, talking about soccer, and she told me the same thing. In the USA, it's kind of rough. It's more difficult, more physical. I mean, you have to be at 100% to be at a good level. And here in Mexico, it's more like let's touch, let's create, let's work as a team. And yeah, now you tell me the exact same thing. So and now I have the full idea of what's the difference between those type of soccer.
Awesome.
And well, Anna, to close this interview, what could be your message to all the girls out there who want to follow your steps and become a pro soccer player?
I would say it's important that you have love for the game and like obviously love for yourself, and like to just like keep focused on following that dream, and then figure out what helps you to get there, you know. Like obviously every step takes like every step you have to take in like everything around you. You know, you have to analyze what you're doing, what you're like eating, like how can you use the people around you to like help you develop, and just be open and positive. You know, like whenever there's a challenge, you take that in as in like, okay, can I take this to better myself? And I feel like if you follow that and you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything.
Absolutely. Well, those are the words from Annia Mejía, current Pachuca player, and who had a great experience here in Mexico and overseas too. Annia, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit more about your career. For those who didn't know, now you know about her. So make sure you go follow her. Make sure to follow Tuzas. Pachuca, a strong title contender this year. This season you can't miss. They were so close last season, and I expect this season will be any different. They will be fighting for that title. And Annia, you will be part of that team. Let's see what the future holds for you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It was an awesome interview.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.